Consciousness and the Absolute. The final talks of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Introduction by the editor, Jean Dunn. The teachings of Nisargadatta Maharaj have been published in several books using the original question and answer format in which the teachings were given. Morris Friedman's translation of Maharaj's talks, I Am That, and other collections which followed, including my own, have served as guideposts to Maharaj's philosophy. Many people from the West have come to follow his precepts through their reading of these collections. Now, another in the golden link of guideposts is presented here as Consciousness and the Absolute. In this book, you will find the last teachings of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, the final dialogues he had with the people who had come from all over the world to hear his words. These talks, coming during the last days of his life, were the culmination of the rarest teachings he had to give us. They were the summit of the heights of his wisdom. So many seekers had come to him for spiritual guidance over a span of 40 years. Now his talks were short, terse, during the pain-filled days of the illness, cancer. It was abundantly clear that although the body was in terrible pain, he knew he was not that body. We knew his body was suffering because he told us, yet we never heard a moan or a whimper from his lips. It was awe-inspiring simply to watch him. Morris Friedman described this great teacher as warm-hearted, tender, shrewdly humorous, absolutely fearless and true, inspiring, guiding, and supporting all who come to him. Others have described him as a tiger. He was whatever was needed: kind, gentle, patient, abrupt, abrasive, impatient. Moods passed over him like summer breeze, barely touching him. The force of his message resounds with his singleness of purpose. As he said, "Give up all you have read and heard and just be." You, as the Absolute, are not this I amness, but presently you have to abide in the I amness. He says it again and again, but the very repetition of his teachings is meaningful, for we have built up a hard shell around this pseudo-ego to protect it. Therefore, constant hammering is needed to break this shell. The repetitious style of his teaching is part of his wisdom and teaching skill. He taught us to find out for ourselves, to ponder his words, and ask ourselves, can this be true? He said one must find out what the body is, where it came from, study it with detachment, watch it without judging. One soon sees that it is just like a robot which has been programmed by others. We are to turn within to that which lets us know that we are, to become one with that. Abiding in the I amness, or consciousness, which is pure love. That consciousness itself will give us all the answers. At the present time, consciousness is what we are, not personal consciousness, but impersonal, universal consciousness. In course of time, the consciousness will show us that we are not even this, but we are that eternal absolute, unborn, undying. All shadings of his singular wisdom are reflected during these last poignant conversations with those who were privileged to be in his presence. When you read his words, may you find in them his blessings. Jean Dunn.